probably similar in time to like Scissors. The gameplay for this game that I'm linking in the description is really laggy, so it's difficult to tell exactly what his strategy is, but I'm pretty sure what he did is he started the round by standing in the fog at the far right of the map. From the perspective of looking out of the spawn room, it's the far right side of the map. Then what he would do is he would let all of the zombies spawn, and once they spawned in, he would run into the first room and horde up the zombies, run outside, horde them in a circle, and then kill them with the ray gun very steeply. And the reason that this works is when you run into the spawn room, no zombies will spawn there, so hoarding up in the spawn room is super easy because standing in the fog forces all of the zombies to spawn outside. The ray gun doesn't kill fast enough to maintain a horde by horde spawn control, and that's why if you just had to horde in the circle to kill them after that point, you could do horde by horde spawn control at lower rounds, but not for a high round strategy. You tend to be very careful and look out for respawners that it didn't get trapped when you just spawning in a circle and shooting the zombies with the ray gun. And he used the ray gun and the Chi-Com for the same reasons that Steve used them, and he also had EMPs, so I'm assuming that he used them to stun trade outs, but there isn't footage of him doing that. And if you don't know how you can use EMPs to do trade outs, all you have to do is throw an EMP, and then all of the zombies will go to sleep. And by going to sleep, they basically just stop going for you and stop attacking you, so you can just literally sit at the mystery box and hit the box over and over and over until you get the ray gun back, which makes it a lot easier than what Steve was doing, where he was like hoarding up in a circle. Makes trade outs basically a cinch, but if you...
Dear Sports!
Let's keep bringing the power.
Mess up with EMPs, you can get screwed easily, so you want to be very careful to not wake the zombies back up, which you can do by shooting or getting too close to the zombies. But basically what everybody does to make them wake up the most easy way is they just shoot a gun, and then all of the zombies on the map will wake up, and you won't have some zombies wake up but some not. That's just the best way to do that. Since the record would stand for about 2 months, but it would be beaten by 1 round to get to round 56 by Perk Bottle on April 11, 2013. And Perk Bottle's game took about 9 to 10 hours, so roughly the same amount of time as Scissors' game, and above 50 plus, it was taking about 3 to 5 ray guns to complete a round. So that's a lot of ray guns for the 50s, and that's putting into perspective why these records were so low. In Perk Bottle's game, he had the ray gun to kill the zombies, and he used the MP5 for insta-kills like Steve had on round 53. When Perk Bottle traded out the ray gun, what he did is he used EMPs to stun the horde, just like Sizz did, and he got rid of the MP5 for a box gun to have a higher chance of getting the ray gun while he was in the box, and then he would buy the MP5 back once he got the ray gun before waking up. Before that, as soon as he bought the MP5, he would just shoot the MP5 to wake the horde back up. And I'm pretty sure that when Perk Bottle ran out of EMPs, he would grab numbers from the box and then try to get the EMPs back, just so that he would be able to continue using EMPs and not have to do horde trade-outs like Steve did. Perk Bottle's record also stood for about 2 months until it was beaten by Dim's Gamer on June 22nd, 2013, and he got to round 57, yet again advancing the record by 1 round. And Dim's Gamer used the same strategies as Perk Bottle. His game was about 10 to 13 hours. Now, right after Dim's game, something happened that would change the way that people played the survival maps forever. Buried came out on July 2nd, 2013, and the Ray Gun Mark II was added to all of the zombies. That meant that the Ray Gun Mark II would be able to be used on Bus Depot, which allowed for some new and innovative strategies to be created. However, it took a while for people to actually use the Ray Gun Mark II to its full potential on Bus Depot. On September 3rd, 2013, Big Sue got to round 58 on Bus Depot, and his game time was somewhere around 10 plus hours, and he used the same ray gun strategies as Dim's, but I don't know if he really did anything different when he had the Ray Gun Mark II, as there's no footage that's available for using the Ray Gun Mark II for Big Sue's game. So, I'm not sure if he innovated at all with his use of the Ray Gun Mark II, but I do know for sure that the next world record will be a lot for the way that people played Bus Depot using the Ray Gun Mark II. And that next record came only a couple of weeks later, on September 30th, 2013, when Scotty I3 Steve's brother. Scotty got to round 65 on Bus Depot, and what he did in this game is he moved up the record by 7 rounds, as opposed to the 1 round at a time that the record had been getting moved up since Warrior played his game. Scotty used the spawn control strategy with the Ray Gun Mark II to his advantage. He would kill as many zombies as he could from the horde with the Ray Gun Mark II while he was standing inside the fog, and then horde up his spawn, come back, and repeat. This works because the Ray Gun Mark II does a lot more damage to the zombies than the Ray Gun does, as long as you're getting headshots on the zombies. The Ray Gun Mark II has a ridiculous headshot multiplier, which is why headshots are key. Consistently hitting headshots is super important for this to work, because if you don't, you'll basically just be wasting the Ray Gun Mark II. If Scotty got the old Ray Gun, what he would do is he would just run around and do the old circle strategy that had been done in many previous games before the Mark II was introduced into the barrel. Otherwise, the strategies were pretty much the exact same as everybody else has, plus there's a small map and there's not a lot to innovate besides creating a new strategy with the Ray Gun Mark II. Scotty's game took about 20 hours to complete, and he suicided on round 65. He didn't have any more time to play that week. Scotty's record stood for several months, but it would be beaten by awkwardly Sneaky on January 19, 2014. Sneaky got to round 68 on Bus. Sneaky's game time in the description is given as 12 hours, 59 minutes, and 37 seconds, not 13 hours. Very clear about that. He used the same strategies, although he used both the Chicom and MP5 for his skills and mobility, and he got to round 68 on Bus Depot. Sneaky's game time in the description is given as 12 hours, 59 minutes, and 37 seconds, not 13 hours. Very clear about that. He used the same strategies, although he used both the Chicom and MP5 for his skills and mobility, and I'm assuming what he did is whenever he would get the Chicom out of the box, he would just keep it, and then during round of ammo, he would get an MP5, rinse and repeat, etc. And in Sneaky's game, he knew that playing with the Mark II only and not using the Ray Gun Mark I was safer, but using the Ray Gun in addition to the Mark II whenever you got the Ray Gun is faster, because the Ray Gun Mark II is more rare than the Ray Gun Mark I, and there's more Ray Gun Mark I, so you might as well use them to kill the zombies to go faster. So what Sneaky did in his game is he ran Mark II only to 54, then he used both the Ray Gun and the Ray Gun Mark II from 54 to 61, and then he started doing the Ray Gun Mark II only again so that he would get the record safely from 62 to 65 after he had beaten the world record on 66 to just use both until he came over. Scotty came back and tied awkwardly Sneaky on February 4th, 2014, getting a joint record, and he used the same strategies as Sneaky, but I don't think he ever played Ray Gun Mark II only, but I could be wrong. And their joint record stood for about 6 months, but it would be beaten by Perk Bottle, who came back and took his old world record on June something 2014. It was early June 2014 at some point. I don't know, I'll explain why in a minute. He got to round 75 in his game. His game took about 35 to 40 hours, and each round past 70 was 3 to 4 hours each, so this is getting into why these games take so long. He used the same strategies as everyone else, but just like Scotty's game, I'm not sure if he ever went without the Ray Gun Mark I, or if he just played with both the entire game. And I believe that he had the world record for a day or two, but the video that I'm linking to is actually uploaded after the next world record, but the next world record mentions in the description that Perk Bottle had the world record at round 75 at some point, so what I'm assuming happened is Perk Bottle played his game, but before he could get his video edited and out, the next world record holder uploaded their video showcasing the world record, so Perk Bottle got swooped and only held the record for a couple of days. And the person that swooped Perk Bottle was a guy by the name of Maze6i, who got to round 81 on June 11, 2014. And in his game, he suicided on round 81. And it's very understandable why he suicided. The game took him about 85 plus hours to play, which is ridiculous for such a low round. And the strat that he ran was the same as everybody else. They didn't trade out the Ray Gun Mark II till round 57, and from 70 onwards he started using both the Ray Gun and the Ray Gun Mark II so that he could play faster, and round 80 was about 7 hours long, which is honestly crazy. And Maze's record has stood for more than 3 years now. Nobody has managed to beat Maze and get an 82 on Bus Depot. Assuming that Bus Depot has the same reset time as the other survival maps, which is about 141 hours, there's still 40 to 50 more hours that could be played on this map to reset. So the record could be pushed a lot higher, but not many people have played games capable of doing that. I don't know how much longer Maze's record will stand, but it's definitely a very impressive record on Bus Depot, even if it isn't a reset, because just to put into perspective, he had to play for 85 plus hours without getting 2 hits, and mad props to Maze for getting that world record. I guess time will tell if this record ever gets beaten, but that's pretty much it for this video, so if you did enjoy, make sure to check out the description where I'll have links to all of these games that I mentioned. This is Nixar, and I'm signing off. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
I killed fucking Thanos.
Hey guys, it's Nixar here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the history of the Nuketown solo world record. So Nuketown Zombies released with Black Ops 2 Zombies on November 12th, 2012, coming as a bonus for the Hardened Care Package or Digital Deluxe editions of Black Ops 2. From December 2012, players who had acquired the Season Pass could digitally download the Nuketown Zombies map for free. However, as of March 13, 2013, it became available for purchase on its own for $5. Before we get into the world records on this map, let's talk about Nuketown Zombies itself. It is another survival map, so that means that it is a map where the only one weapons that you have at your disposal are the ray gun and the Mustang and Sally to kill zombies. That means the world records are going to be fairly low for this map. Nuketown Zombies has Pack-a-Punch, which means that you can pack-punch your ray guns, so it plays pretty similarly to Town Zombies, where you basically have to just run around in a circle, kill the zombies with the ray gun. When you run out of ammo, pack-punch your ray gun, kill the zombies with your pack-punch ray gun. Then when you run out of ammo, your pack-punch ray gun, you have to get rid of your ray gun and try to get the ray gun back out of the box. And then when you use the ray gun on the rocks, you rinse and repeat. Since the ray gun does not do that much damage, you're going to have to use multiple ray guns to kill a single horde past a certain point, and the rounds are going to get really, really long. So with all of this in mind, let's get into the high round games and the strategies they use to use these high round games. The first one we're going to be talking about is 8 days after Black Ops 2 release on November 20, 2012, when King Jack Offsuit got to round 67 on Nuketown Zombies. What King Jack did in his game is he trained in the backyard of the greenhouse with the lower house door closed. And in his game, he had 4 downs and game over in his game, obviously using the Mustang and Sally and ray gun to kill the zombies in this game. He also used claymores, monkeys, and sempexes because those help you kill the zombies just a little bit faster in certain situations. And he also had the pack-punch machine in the green backyard, which makes pack-punch the ray gun faster, as he didn't have to use the strategy and go to the other backyard using pack-punch his ray gun, just cleaning up the game. I don't know if King Jack intentionally restarted his game so that he got pack-punch there, but I do know that that's what he did now. Only 1 day later, on November 21st, 2012, IL got to round 68 on Nuketown Zombies using the same strategy as King Jack, but he disconnected from the server to update the Black Ops 2. The only difference is that in his game, he did not have the pack-punch, which made rounds just a little bit slower. And I haven't mentioned this yet, but there are certain speed guns in Black Ops 2 Zombies that will let you train faster, and past a certain point, people usually will get the speed gun for trade outs so that they can train as fast as possible. And the guns with the highest mobility that people usually get is their trade outs are the ballistic knife, the Sheikah, or the MP5. So the 3 guns that have the highest mobility. Now, I'm not exactly sure who held the world record next. I do know of another world record that happened a month later, but that world record eventually the record by a lot of rounds, so it seems like there probably was another world record between the two, but I can't find any video evidence of it. It could have been just only on the leaderboard, there could have been a video that was eventually deleted, it could have been an exposed modder, but I do know that it was probably between rounds 69 and 73, but I couldn't find any footage of it, obviously. But it may have not been on the leaderboard, because back in the day when Black Ops 2 launched, there was a 9,999 kill cap on the leaderboard, which meant that if you got over 10,000 kills, your the game would not show up on the Black Ops 2 leaderboard, which meant that since you were playing Nuketown and there were no traps you could use to kill the zombies or anything, once you got to about round 68 or 69, you would hit the 999 kill cap, and games above that would not show up on the leaderboard. This has since been patched, but this is what was happening back in the day when Black Ops 2 launched. I do know for sure that the next player had the world record when they got to round 7 and that next player was Frenzy, who got to round 8 on December 23rd, 2012, playing for about 40 hours in this game and having 3 downs and then suicided all the time. He used the same strategies that everyone was used to Jack, and he also had the path.
Take him down, take him down, take him down, take him down.
After this point, every record also has the path. So people had realized that it made the game faster,
They're done for it. Oh, Faru.
Zombies, and that's because it's rare. He only got the Ray Gun Mark II about 20 times in his 83 game, compared to more than 100 ray guns. And his game time was nearly 60 hours, which is why he suicided, because he didn't want to play anymore on Nuketown Zombies, because they run were taking a really long time. The kill repeat record would stand for a long time, but it would be beaten in April 2014 by Frenzy, who got to round 86, reclaiming his old world record. But the problem with this game is I don't have much information about it. I know he used the same strategies, but I don't know the exact date it was played because the Twitch highlight wasn't even made until several months after the game was played. I also don't know how this game ended because the Twitch highlight landed in custom and it seems like an open video, so I don't know why this happened. I also don't have the information about the game because all of the description says the game is actually
Yes.
But I do know that Frenzy's round would be beat round 90 on October 5th, 2014, getting the first round 90 on YouTube. And this video is actually an update video because Pixie he planned to play further as he was flawless on round 90, but the problem was his cat opened up the disc tray on his Xbox, ending the game 3 hours into round 90, which is really, really unfortunate, but kind of a funny way to end the game. But I do feel bad for Pixie, as he was flawless in this game and probably could have played to reset if this cat hadn't messed up his game. And I don't know how long this game took, but I do know that 89 took 6 hours to complete. So he was about halfway into round 90. And Pixie's round would stand for about 2.5 years, being probably the longest that the record has ever stood on Nuketown Zombies up until this point. But a guy by the name of Mossy Pro Gaming got to round 95 on March 19, 2017, and this is a very, very impressive game of Nuketown. I actually spoke to Mossy Pro Gaming about this game so that I could see exactly what was going on and exactly what strategies he used to push up this world record by 2 rounds. And a special thanks to Mossy for helping me with this video. His link will be in the description if you want to check out his channel. Mossy said that getting this world record was a huge round. He had 4 80-plus games on Nuketown that ended from power loss. So after that point, he bought an uninterruptible power supply, which is an UPS for short, which basically means it's a power supply that doesn't rely on the electrical grid. If Mossy's house loses power, his game will not end because his UPS will keep his Xbox running and able to stay on the game so that he doesn't lose the game from power. And after he bought this power supply, he played a round 89 game, which ended because of a weird glitch with his controller, where his thumbstick got stuck to one side and spun him around into the zombies and into the game. That was 1 round off of Pixie's world record at the time, so it must have been very frustrating. Then he played a new game that was the 95 game, and he got the world record. This game was really crazy because he actually uninstalled Buried so that he wouldn't get the Ray Gun Mark II in his game. Now this may sound crazy and stupid because, of course, the Ray Gun Mark II improves your game and should make it faster, right? But Mossy figured out that that's actually not true. It actually slows down your game. Here's why. This is because the Ray Gun Mark II is a headshot-based weapon. You do the most damage to the enemies if you hit a headshot with the Ray Gun Mark II. That means if you're not getting headshots on all of the zombies you're hitting with then you're not utilizing the full potential of the gun. The Ray Gun, however, is a splash damage-based weapon, which means that no matter where you hit the zombies, they'll do a similar amount of damage, but there is a splash damage bonus because it's an explosive type of weapon. Playing without the Mark II for the first 75 rounds is a lot more difficult because below round 75, it's a lot easier to just board up and get headshots on the board with the Ray Gun Mark II than to just run in a circle and shoot the Ray Gun at their feet, going up the splash damage. After round 75, it doesn't really make a difference what gun you use, but without the Ray Gun Mark II, he lost time up until round 86, and that was compared to his round 89 game. Round 86 and every round after that, he was able to play faster because he was running regular Ray Gun only. This might seem counterintuitive, but here's the reason why. Above 86, the geometry of Nuketown makes it difficult to get headshots on the entire board of zombies. This means that if you're using the Ray Gun Mark II, you're not going to be using the weapon to its full potential. But if you're using the Ray Gun, you will be able to use that weapon to its full potential. So using the Ray Gun is actually faster above round 86. On the other survival maps, Farm, Town, and Bus Depot, you're able to get these headshots on the zombies that the Ray Gun Mark II requires easily every single time. But the terrain of Nuketown will always make it so that you cannot always headshot the zombies. In addition, because the spawns are quite slow in the green backyard, it takes forever to board up after killing 1 to 3 zombies with the Mark II, because if they spawn in the middle of the map, you have to wait for them to come over the garage, whereas with the regular Ray Gun, you can keep shooting the board and not have to wait for them like you would with the Mark II. From round 86 to 90, he gained about 4 hours on his 89 game because he wasn't using the Ray Gun Mark II. And he's not sure how much time he saved for 90 to 95 because obviously there's not times for that because no one had played that high before. He told me that round 94 took about 13 hours to complete. Also, one thing that sped up his game is he grabbed the drop in the yellow shed on round 94, which saved almost an hour of game time. A lot of people consider Mossy's 95 to be the most impressive game played on a survival map. This is the first round 95 to be achieved on any survival map in Black Ops 2, and it happened on Nuketown, which nobody thought would ever happen. This is because a lot of people thought that Nuketown was a slower map than Town, which has had a record of 94 for like 2 years now. And a lot of it comes down to the amount of time that it takes to hit them, especially the one inside the greenhouse. Hey guys! is round 81 by Visual X Venom on September 3rd, 2011. So, on Moon, he was running a strategy in the Biodome, which is one of the areas of Moon that has the slowest spawns. So this means that it took him about 14 to 15 hours to get to round 81, which by modern standards is extremely slow. So he suicided in his 81 game, presumably just because he probably got bored. 14 to 15 hours is a long time for a zombies game, especially if you're only to round 81. And he was using primarily the wave gun and Gershes in his 81 game. Now I don't know who had the world record after Visual Venom. I do know that a world record would happen on February 9th, 2012 by none other than Zeratul GT getting a round 158 reset. So if you don't know what a reset means, essentially it is this thing that happens in the
Oh my god! Yeah, all these traps?
and then it loads up a game with
Trap after fuck.
after a certain amount of time in game. This amount of time in game varies for each map, but it does not vary across hardware. PC and console have the same reset times for each map, but the maps have different reset times among themselves. We don't know what causes the reset, but it happens, and it happened to Zeratul GT in his round 158 game. He was running a very similar strategy to Visual Venom. He was running wave gun and Gershes training in the Biodome, which is why he reset at such a low round compared to modern resets. I also don't know if there were any other records in between this one and the next one, because obviously zombie records didn't exist yet, so the next record that I have is round 167 by Frenzy on July 17, 2013. So Frenzy got a script error in his game. He didn't reset because he played a different strategy that was much faster. He ran in the spawn room, Gershes again, and this strategy was much, much faster than just running the Biodome.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
After only 70 hours, he got a script error. Now this script error was unknown as to why people were getting it, but eventually it would be figured out that it was because of the way people were shooting the wave gun in the spawn room. So the spawn room has this area where there's a jump pad that zombies can use to jump up through a hole into the spawn room once the power is turned on. What people were doing is they were shooting a wave gun into this hole to kill zombies faster, and what that did is it canceled out the animation of the zombies exploding using a wave gun that were jumping through the hole while they got killed. And this meant that eventually it would cause a script error if you did it enough times. I'm not sure exactly how much Frenzy was doing it, but that's what happened. So people use Gershes to get drops at high rounds and just hack those drops to get a max ammo. If you run out of Gershes and you don't get a drop, what people would do is they would go to the Biodome and they would just wait for a nuke or an insta-kill to spawn on one of the pads, and then try to run and grab it, kill some zombies, and hopefully have a drop spawn from the zombies that you killed. This is referred to as doming, and that's what I'm going to use as the term for the rest of the video. Whenever I say doming, that's what I'm talking about. You can only have a maximum of 4 drops spawning every single round on Black Ops 1 zombies. That meant that past a certain point you would have to do trade out to the wave gun, and that's what Frenzy did in his game, because you wouldn't be able to dome anymore because there wouldn't be any more drops to spawn in. And Frenzy also got insta-kill rounds, which is where you get above round 163 in Black Ops 1 zombies. There are rounds where the zombies' health resets back to round 1 due to an error in the zombie health equation, and that is a part of the game that you can avoid, so Frenzy utilized that to his advantage. He ran into the MPL room and just camped there with a PES and an upgraded MPL. Now, at this point, I haven't talked about the astronaut yet. In the earlier games, they just played those games with the astronaut just running around the biodome, because that's fine, the biodome's in place, so you're not going to have much of an issue with the astronaut grabbing you and teleporting you away and taking one of your perks, which is obviously a huge annoyance at high rounds. But in the spawn room, it's a smaller area, so running with the astronaut in there is going to cause you more likely to be teleported and grabbed, which really slows down and it'd be a huge annoyance for a high round game, especially if he takes Jug, because Jug is located in no man's land, and it only has a 50% chance of spawning every single time you go to no man's land. Of course, it goes every other. As long as you know what the last perk was, you'll know what perk's going to be there. If the astronaut steals your Jug, and then you go teleport, and then speed pull, you're going to have to run around without Juggernaut, which sucks in high rounds. You want to avoid that. So what people figured out...
That's so bullshit.
This game, because what to do is they figured out how to glitch the astronaut and cause the astronaut to stay standing in place dancing. Now I'm not sure if this is the method that Frenzy used in this game, because there is another method to track the astronaut. You can leave one of the doors closed and allow an excavator to breach either tunnel 6 or tunnel 11 and trap the astronaut in there before the excavator goes off, which will mean that the astronaut cannot leave that area, and the astronaut will be stuck there for the rest of the game, which is really nice for the player. I'm not sure which one Frenzy used, but the method for glitching the astronaut was literally just to jump on the jump pads while the astronaut was spawning in, and then he just danced forever in the biome. It won't bother you. The glitching method is obviously a little bit less accepted by the community, and the method with the excavator is much more accepted by the community because you're not using a glitch or anything, you're just using the excavator. Obviously, when people glitch the astronaut, it is controversial, but this has led to Zombie Records having a with the astronaut and without the astronaut. The Zerical DT still has the record for with the astronaut, even though he played that game more than 5 years ago, which is ridiculous. There's a lot to explain, a lot of nuance to doing that around, but I think I've covered everything for Frenzy games. We're going to move on to a 168 game
What the?
2014 by Mac and Rules. So people figured out that if you teleport to no man's land after you've used all 4 of your drops for a round, then once you spawn back in, you'll be able to get 4 more drops in that round, and it resets the number of drops. You can dome longer, you won't have to figure out which speed